Greetings everyone. Welcome back to the another episode of Business Automation Show, where we talk about how we can use Microsoft technologies or Microsoft non-technologies to automate your business activities. In every session, we take a new use case and we explain that for that particular use case, what are the tools that we can use and how we can automate that particular use case. Okay, so today we are going to talk about proactive support for the customer, right? So if let's say you are on any business, whether it's a product development, service company, or you are doing some kind of maintenance for your customer, whenever you done with your project, you want to know what is their feedback, okay, about your services, about your product, okay, about your interaction with them. So that feedback what we get from there, how we can do analysis on that, and we can actively response on that and actively act on that, so that we can get some more detail, or maybe we can set up the process how we can improve if there is some kind of gap is there, or some kind of miscommunication there. So those kind of thing basically part of the proactive customer support. Okay, so here is the agenda. So we will start with a basic introduction, and then we will see that what is our proposed solution. There may be different proposed solution, but in today's scenario, so we will discuss like what are the tools that we are going to use. For example, we will talk about Outlook, and we will talk about Power Automate. Then we will talk about how we can utilize AI Builder, to read those email to get that sentimental information from there, and then how we can use team to send the notification to the concerned team. Okay, so whether it's a positive or negative, depending on that scenario, all these things we are going to talk. And finally we will show you demo that how these tools interact with each other, and can use that information from back and forth from one tool to another tool, and then make use of that information, pass to the customer, pass to the concerned team, and maybe record in our system, whether it's you have some dashboard that you have created, whether it's a Microsoft database or non-Microsoft database, that can be also done as a separate thing. Okay, so before jumping into the main agenda, let's have a quick introduction about ourselves. Myself Mahinder, and I have my friend Sandeep with me. So we both are Microsoft MVP, and we have been working with Microsoft technologies. It's more than 10 years now. So we are also CSharpCorner MVPs, and we both are hosting this, and I will be taking care of the PPT, and I will explain the scenarios on that, and Sandeep will be taking care of the demo part. Okay, so let's start our topic. Okay, so as I said that in whatever business you are, when you have done your deployment, whether it's a service deployment, whether it's a product deployment, whether you have selling some product to them, or you are doing some kind of maintenance or upgrade, depending on different scenario, what is your business. After completing your whatever project, there is that you want to know, okay, what is the customer feedback on that. Okay, because you want to retain that customer, right? So you need to know that, okay, what they are thinking about your services, about your product, right? So based on the feedback, positive or negative, you can see that, okay, if this customer is going to stay with us, or if they having any issue in our in the process that we follow in our company, maybe there is some way that we can improve that process, and maybe based on their feedback we can add some more layers on that, and maybe we can improve our process to get provide better service, right? So all that thing basically here, that as you can see on that, like when we do that, you cannot make all 100% customer happy, right? But it depends on the process that you are using for the development or the services deployment, right? Maybe they have some different expectation when they will tell you that what is their feedback. If they are telling you the positive feedback that, okay, the process that you are following, that is very good, and you know, if there is a room of the improvement, maybe you can convey that message to you that okay, you can improve your process like this, right? Or if there is some miscommunication or there is some issue with the product, maybe there will be a not a happy customer, and they will provide you some kind of negative feedback, and that is very critical for our business, because you need to know that okay, why the response was negative, right? So you want to fill the gap, you want to improve the process, so that next, you know, customer won't face that kind of issue, or this customer will also be staying with us if we are going to make them happy, right? So that's the use case that we are going to talk about, and we will see that, you know, when we send that feedback email to the customer, and when we are getting that response from them, how we can analyze that, how we can get that sentimental information from that email, and that information how we can utilize using the different tool set that we are going to talk today. Okay, so what is our proposed solution here? So as I said that there can be different ways of implementing that solution, but for this use case, for this session, we are going to take these tool set. The first one we are going to take is the Outlook. Okay, that will be for the email communication. So whether we are sending email or we are getting email from the customer, so we are going to use Outlook connector for that. And under that Outlook connector, once we will have that email information, we can pass that information to the Power Automate, where basically all that automation logic will happen, right? And then on that, we will also going to use AI builder, which will basically get that information from the email, and it will extract that basically sentimental analysis on that, and then it will, depending on the scenario, it will take the decision what need to be done in the next step. Okay, and then we have the teams for the notification, so that we want to quickly let them know, you know, it's basically for our manager or for our, whoever team is concerned on that department, whoever technician is dependent or, you know, related to this case, so we want to let them know what is the feedback that is coming from the customer, right? So that's the proposed solution we are going to talk today. So first one, Outlook, right? So this is the part of the Microsoft cloud, right? So we are mostly we talk about that cloud one, because Power Automate, you know, that that's basically a cloud workflow from Microsoft, right? So here we are going to use that Outlook connector. This basically provides a different set of actions which we can use, you know, to get that emails and, you know, act on those emails. Okay, so whether you want to send that email to the customer or you want to receive that email from the customer, all those email can be tracked using those actions. So you can use that Outlook connector, and once you will select that connector, you need to configure the connection. You need to tell that okay, who is the, you know, connection user will be, that like when they will you know, sending that email, so on behalf of which user this connector is going to send that email. Okay, so mostly that is basically honor of the Power Automate that we create. Okay, but there is a way of doing that impersonation as well. We can select that you go from this user we want to send that email. So we can see here we have different type of actions that is available. We can use these actions, and once when we will send that email or we will get email from the customer, our automation logic will trigger. Okay, so that's what we have here for the Outlook for the email communication. The next one, and this is the key component here, this is the key part here, that is basically Power Automate. That's a cloud workflow engine that we are using here, which will basically do all that automation here, right? So it is using different connectors. All the connector that we are talking about, whether it's an Outlook team or, you know, any other connector that we are going to use, that's basically part of the Power Automate only. Okay, so we can create different type of Power Automate. There are different type of, like, you can create, you know, on demand, or you can create basically that can run on some specific trigger, or you can have some kind of scheduled one that, you know, when you are saying that okay, during this time period that should run. Okay, so those kind of thing that is available on the Power Automate. And you can see here we have this basically the flow that is here. So you can see that we have different branches here, right? So in the Power Automate, we have controls that is available which we can use. So we have if control, where we can say that okay, if the condition is true, which step we want to do. If that is false, which step we want to do that, right? We do have a switch control as well. So those controls we can use for the checking, and based on that we can decide like okay, which step it will execute. Okay, so those type of control that is available, we can do the looping if there are multiple data, if there is a array or there is a collection and we want to process those collections, so we can use looping. So we have for each loop we have different loops are there which we can use to run on the collection, and one by one we can extract that information. Okay, so as I said that this is the key component, and we have hundreds of connectors available which we can use to interact these different application, whether it's a Microsoft application or non-Microsoft application. If there is no connector available, you can also build your own connector, right? And that is there. Apart from this, the connector that we are using, some of them are free, so you can simply use them, but some of them are premium connectors, so you need to buy license for that, and after that you can utilize them on the Power Automate. Okay, so AI builder. So AI builder is basically that what we are saying, that we are getting different type of emails, right? So customer sending some response, and based on that response data that is there, whether it's a subject information that we want to use, or whether it's a email body part that we want to use, from that we want to extract that sentimental information. Those kind of thing we can use using the AI builder. So if you can see here on the AI builder, we have different connectors available. So we can use these different connectors. So for example, we can, do that analysis there. We can detect that, okay, what is the language of that email. So those kind of different actions that is available that we are going to use today. And these basically action will help us to get the data, analyze the data, and pass that information to the concern. So for after that we can use our next connector, which basically teams one, that basically sending the notification so that they can proactively take action on those response, right? If it's a positive feedback, so sending them a thank you email, so thank you for providing your positive feedback. If there is a negative email, just reaching out to them, getting some more information, okay, what was the issue, where was the gap, and what type of issue they are facing. Okay, so those type of thing we can do easily on the Microsoft Teams. So this can easily we can post that notification on the team. So normally companies use team channels, so we have we can create different type of channel depending on the teams, whoever handling that particular service or product, right? So as soon as, and mostly companies use a team as a their day-to-day communication in the office, right? So when they will use that these team connector, they can send that notification, and immediately that will get on that team channel, they will get that notification, and from there they can start acting on the response, right? So these type of thing, that is these type of control, these type of connectors that we are going to use today for doing this sentimental analysis. And now we are going to jump on the demo where we will see much detail that how these tools can interact with each other and pass information from each other, and then based on that sentimental, we can how we can take the decision that which paths we want to use. So we can see the different control that we are using, right? Okay, so Sandeep, I'm going to pass mic to you, that
Yeah,
you can share
thank you
your
very much. Yes. So let me share my screen.
Okay, so we are waiting for your screen. Have you
Is it
confirmed?
visible?
Not yet. Yeah, it's loading.
Yes.
Yep, we can see it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So as Mahendra told that we will use Power Automate. So what I'm going to do is I will create a flow. step by step, so we can see that how we can analyze the sentiment of a customer email, and based on that we will take action. So the first thing, like automated cloud flow, and we will search for when email arrives. So we'll use that. Let me fix the connection. Let me check this. Um, we do have no sign. So let me delete and start from beginning. Arrives. Oh, just a second. Okay. So now the next step is that we will just use, like after getting that email, we will get the user profile. So I will search for get user info. So I will use this get user info, and then we will use this no parameter needed here. And the next thing is that we will use HTML. So, for example, whatever we are content we are getting, that is in email, we need to convert that HTML into the text so we can pass to the AI builder. So I will just use this, and the body, that is what I will use here. And the next step is that we will go for the AI builder, and you can see all those AI models we have in Power Automate. For example, if you want to analyze the business card or you want to analyze the sentiment analysis, that is what we are going to use here. Classify into custom categories, like uh, classify into the standard categories, describe the image, this is in preview, like detect the language. And all these models are already trained by Microsoft, so you just need to use them in Power Automate flow, and you will able to get the output based on the input you will provide to that particular model. For example, you can see we have process document, process identity of the document, process receipt. So for example, like when we are using like Copilot or any other thing, that is where you can use the AI model. But in Power Automate, we don't have that capability. In that case, these are the small models, that is what we can add as a step, and we can give the input and we will get output using these AI models. So what I'm going to use it, I'm going to use sentiment analysis. Language we need to select here, so I will select English language, and then I will use the input from the text. And the next thing we'll use switch cases. I will use this, and here we will pass the output from our our AI model. So all these things we have like uh, as a output. So I will use sentiment, and then so let me see that we are getting like as by default it's added for each. Let me check that we are getting right. What is response and sentiments? Okay, and then we are getting okay. So now we'll add the conditions. So for example, what we are going to get all these things. If if we will go to this model, we can see that the inputs we'll get, that is the first one is negative. So we'll add the negative case, then we will add neutral, and by default we will use this the positive sentiment as a default we will use. And let me change the name here, negative, and then here we'll use negative one. So now our almost flow is ready, where we are getting the email, we are getting user information, then we are extracting text from the email, and then we are doing sentiment analysis. It is positive, negative, or neutral. And if it is negative, that's the case when we need to be more alert. In that case, what we'll do is we'll create a team post. Like the first thing we'll do, we'll send a message to the like staff members and managers. So we'll use send email, and we'll use send email here to staff, and we'll use negative for this. So for example, like your staff members, that is what you can use here. So I will use the email address we are using for receiving the email, and the subject, we will take the subject from email, and then the next thing we'll take, that is username. So we'll take display name. We got bit bad. This is negative feedback from customer. Well, email address, use the email address from that particular email. So we'll use this, and from, and sentiment, just add the sentiment. So please click or look. So something like based on your content, that is what you can add here. So we created an email to send to the staff member. If you want to add more email addresses, that is what you can just add the comma, like you want to send the message to your manager or something like that. That is what you can add here. So let me save it. So next thing we can do, like if it is on high alert, in that case, uh, so for now I will just use the name. As we need VPN. I know. So the next thing we'll do, we'll add the user VPN is required. Let me check that how we can fix it. I can add. The, So I'm just using email address, and now I will go here. And the next thing we'll do, we'll send message in Teams. So I will use Teams connector, and we can see like post a message into a team channel. So post a message into chat or channel. That is what I will select, and then we'll use the flow board. We'll use the channel, and we'll use the Teams. That is like I will use demo team and the particular channel you want to use. So for example, like based on your team structure, whatever channel, whatever team you want to use, that is what you can select here. You can also type the message like we got negative feedback from customer, and you can mention the customer name or email address. So this is how you can create a alert in Microsoft Teams. The next thing we can do, we can, if you want to send message to back to the customer, that is what you can also use. So we can add send email. The next email we will send back to the customer. Just send email to customer. We'll use the from address. So from where message is coming. Thanks for feedback. Thank you for your feedback. We will look to the issue. So this is like I'm just adding demo content, but based on your requirement, that is what you can add here. So we have our negative flow ready. In case of neutral, it means that customer is neither happy nor uh, sad about your services. So what we can do is we can just send alert to our team, send email, and I will use this. So I will use two, and we use the subject from message and hi team. uh, Whatever content like uh, we got feedback from customer, and customer email we can type here. So I'll just take email from address and then comma sentiment. You can take from AI builder, that is sentiment analysis. So this is what we'll send in a neutral case. I just need to change the title, that is neutral. I will save it. In case of positive, like for example, you are getting message from customer and he is quite happy. So in that case, if you want to send message back to the customer, you will just use send message, and to the send email. Again, we will use the customer email address here. We will use from address, forward back to the, we'll take the subject and hi, thank you for being our valued customer. So you will send a thank you message as you are getting positive feedback from the customer. Also, if you want to send message to your manager, or let me again change the title. Now we will see. So this is how we have here. We are sending message to the staff, then we are posting in team message, and then we are sending message back to the customer in case of negative. In case of neutral, we are just sending message to the staff that just try to improve their quality so customer will be happy. In case of positive, we are just sending message back to the customer that thank you for being our valued customer. So let me run this flow and see that how it's working. So let me save it, and I will just send from here. So before that, we will just try in a test mode. Customer feedback. Hi team, I am not happy with your services and support. So I will just send it and see that how this flow is working. So sometimes when we are using like external connectors, uh, like sometimes it's taking time, so we'll just wait for till that this flow will run. It's taking. So now it's running. You can see like the first step, then we are getting user information, and then we are extracting information from that email, and it's going here. Let's see, that's it's going to the neutral. So here, like I thought that it's negative, but if you are just sending this kind of message, it's not negative. So I got like thank you for your feedback. We look into the issue. So it's going through this route. Like according to the AI, this kind of message is just neutral message. So we got this. Uh, so this is how you can see like easily if in case I'm sending a message that Sandeep, and we'll just try to check customer feedback. So I will use our team. Thank you for your uh, awesome support on project you project you did for us. So let's see that which kind of sentiment analysis we are getting for this particular email. So again, I will go here, go back and see. So we'll just go back, try to run it. So it's running for our existing email. It's taking time. So this is how like we just created a demo version based on like sometimes when you are working in a organization, it's very important that you should not get any kind of negative feedback. In that case, like you can create alerts, you can send notifications, you can send message to manager like this project is going from a critical stage, we just need to look into it. So that is how you can create all those kind of things. I think that I just need to cancel this flow and see that so it's working. Let's see where it is going. So again, it's going through the neutral, and that is what we are getting as a message. So so hope you will able to understand that how like if you have any kind of support email or any special email where customer is communicating, you will able to analyze and alert your team based on customer feedback. I'm going to pass this like stage to Mahendra. Over to you.
Okay, so here, just want to add here, like
Mm.
as you can see that this flow that we have created, right? And on this flow, so we have utilized different type of control that is part of the Power Automate. So as you can
Correct.
see that we are using for each loop. So this is basically the collection. You can see here we have the four, right? The collection. There are the four items that it is fetching from that email, and based on that it's doing that loop, and based on the content of these collection it's going through one by one. So then further we have used this switch control for the checking that. And then the AI model, basically that's a
Mhm.
Microsoft trained model here. Maybe we can try to add some kind of uh, it's some kind of words here, which is we can say like your support, something like that, like maybe horrible or something. Maybe it will detect and it will go to the negative one.
Yeah, even though that model, if you want to just taste that model, how it is working, you can also go here, like we can go to Power Automate, and to taste that model, you will directly will go to the AI Hub, and here all those models we can get. So, for example, we will go here AI models, and you can see like the all those models are available here. You can click, and we can search for that particular model. So if we will search for sentiment analysis, like you can see, so this is, so here you will put your like to test it, you will just put your like overall in the email or content you want to test. You will get that you are getting positive, negative. Even though you want to use this existing model, you can use, you can also like customize it as your own, and you can analyze this model and use for your own workflow.
Yeah, so we are using that existing model that is part of that Microsoft here. But if we want, we can also like there are pre-text that is basically they have the different cases that they have trained for it, right? So if we
Correct.
want to add our own, we want to train and want to create our own model, that can be also done, and we can test different type of contents based on that, as Sandeep was showing. And based on the content we can see that okay, what is the feedback it will give when we will actually use it on the Power Automate. So that's
Correct.
basically, there are different type of models, and in our coming sessions we will be utilizing some more models, and will showcase how we can utilize these more models. And here as well, as I said, like if can you please scroll down a little bit? Yeah, so we can see here, like after sending that notification. So let's take an example that if we are maintaining that database for the customer feedback. Okay, so for example the post deployment of the project, and we want to keep history of those communication, and we are keeping that response that we got from the customer, so that it can be used for the training purpose later sometime of new training guys are there, so we can train them and we can showcase them all those type of scenarios. So we can also use the different connector here to pass this data that is collected by this AI model to Dataverse or any other database that is basically Microsoft or non-Microsoft. So that can be also done, right? So those kind of
Yeah.
thing can easily do it here,
Yeah,
right?
in some cases, like when we want a report, for example, like how many feedback we got positive, how many we got negative, and also based on the team member who is helping working on that project. So that kind of work we can also do, like we can store somewhere and create that kind of report.
Yeah, so these like we can build Power BI report or any other dashboard that or any application that you are using, or maybe you are using a Microsoft portal. In the portal, on the Power pages, you can display those kind of reports, and maybe the higher authority they will be checking that okay, after this project completed, right? Like VP of this IT, or depending on that, whoever is the higher authority, they can see that, okay, how was our project went, right? So we completed that project, but what was the customer feedback, and what we can do to improve that if there is some kind of negative feedback that is, we have gotten from the customer, right? So those type of thing we can easily done on this use case. So that's what we discuss today. And all our past use cases that we discussed, past sessions, all are there on the C Sharp Corner live TV. You can watch there. That's the available on the YouTube as well. So you can see our past session there, and we will be back with the another use case, and where we will showcase that how we can do that business automation for that particular use case. If you have any scenario that you want us to work on, please feel free to comment and provide your feedback, and you can send that topic, and we can work on that, and we can provide a demo for automating that particular use case, right? So thank you very much for joining us today. Stay tuned with us for the next sessions. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Bye.